Welcome to the Blue Dragon Guild impromptu paint and chat. I'm Baron.
I'm Dave.
And today we're painting some stuff. This was kind of one of those impromptu kind of things that we both had a little bit of time, and we were like, hey, let's do a little bit of painting. And after a little bit of struggle, it happened just now. And yeah.
What are you going to paint today?
Today, I am painting this wonderful spider miniature.
Oh, that's cool. Is that one of the newer ones?
Yes, I think it is. Because it's got the blue background on the packaging, so I think it is fairly new. I wanted to paint this spider because my druid in the Frostwind game has turned into a spider a time or two, and I'm the kind of person who likes to have things that match with it in the game. Ethan, hey, thanks for checking out the stream on this impromptu moment. So, Dave, how did you enjoy our epic level fight night with Kwood Publishing the other day?
That was pretty cool. I really enjoyed that.
I'm glad. I also enjoyed it quite a bit. I know Andrew enjoyed it as well, so hopefully we can get him to come and run us again sometime. Ethan asks, what's the biggest mini you own? And I think mine might be the Froghemoth.
I thought you had a Cthulhu.
Froghemoth is bigger than that.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow. Biggest thing I've got is probably the oh shoot, that brass dragon that Mackenzie got me.
Oh yeah.
That bust you got me is pretty big, but I think the in terms of surface area, the brass dragon's probably the biggest.
How's that bust working for you?
I haven't started it yet. I'm kind of scared of it.
I understand.
But I think it's going to look pretty cool. I'm in the trend that I've been doing is I've been doing so much experimental stuff that I need to stop that. It's kind of a bad habit of I just keep testing things and testing things and testing things, and I need to stop and actually just paint proper.
I understand. I painted one of the busts that I have. It's not done very well, but I painted it. So
yeah, hey, at least there's paint on it.
That dwarf mini that I sent with that, how well does that work for Orsk?
Because
he's got the pointed hat.
Yeah.
Not quite straw, but
yeah. Well, it's the only mini I've got that I would consider for Orsk, so I guess it would work pretty well.
Because I saw that and I was like, I have to get this for Dave. Because, like, you can paint the straw texture on there pretty well, so.
Yeah. If we ever get back to that campaign.
I'm sure someday we will.
Yeah.
Soon, hopefully. I think those are our most fleshed out characters that I know at least I've ever had.
Oh yeah, for sure. Absolutely. I think we've also played them the most.
Yeah. Yeah. Um,
Because I can't remember exactly what they're at, like level 15 or 17, but we took them all the way up from 1.
yeah. Dath is 17.
Yeah, so we're floating around that.
Um, yeah.
I think we should just hurry up, like play that a little bit, get them to level 20, and then anytime we want to run an epic thing, we just use them.
That would be good.
Or like not just like the epic fight night, but like if somebody's like, oh, I want to do, a really high level campaign, then that's fine.
Yeah, that might be fun.
So when I initially got the colors for this guy, I was like, oh, these look really, I think these are going to look really cool. Once I got them on the mini, I'm like, wow, these clash horribly.
That's like my entire life.
Yeah, I'm not too worried about it. I feel like if it's painted on okay, then I'm good with that.
Yeah, that's
You can
all.
always make better paint choices later on. I tell you what, though, I love this paint. This is the Turbo Dork Emerald Nightmare. Wow, that's great.
Cool.
It's probably pretty dark on this, but his armor is like a really dark pine green, and I just love it to pieces. I think it's wonderful.
It looks rad.
Yeah, I think it'll look a little tighter when you get like in person, but this is actually the mini I've been struggling to paint for our Icewind Dale campaign. So my goal is to have him done by this Sunday so that I can actually bring him and be like, all right, boom, there's my guy.
I love it.
Also had a shield that I'd been working on. The shield actually was the first thing I got done. It's the Afterburner Turbo Dork, and then I put kind of a wash over it to kind of dull down some of the shininess to make it look a little bit older and slightly distressed.
Cool.
And I kind of like the Afterburner because it looks sort of copper, but then if you catch it just right, you get almost like I don't know, like a lime green.
Yeah.
So it's kind of interesting. I've not yet tried my green stuff. That's not green stuff. I've not yet got a chance to try these, but I'm hoping to try them.
Those are cool.
Yeah,
Did you order them straight from their site?
I did, and it took like 20 days.
Yeah,
because they're based in Spain.
Yeah, that's where I got my texture rollers from, and it took them a while to show up.
Yeah, it was funny because I could do the regular shipping, which was 15 to 30 days, and it would cost, I think it was like $5 or something, or I could do 10 to 15 for 160.
Okay.
Yeah, and I was like, no, thank you.
Yeah. Oh man. They have stuff up on Etsy too.
Oh, okay, cool. I didn't know that.
I didn't either until one day I was just perusing around and like a set of their paints showed up. So I looked through their store. They don't have everything that their regular store does, but they have a good bit of stuff.
I mostly wanted to get them just to try the color shift because I was somewhat dissatisfied with the Turbo Dork color shift. I think it really honestly, I think any of the color shifts, really the best results are going to be airbrush. And so anything you brush on is just going to be, kind of good luck to you. But I wanted to try these because I feel like these are probably going to be about the best of the color shift. I've heard a lot of reviews. They seem to be highly reviewed. So I'm going to give those a shot. I want to say, what is it? Scale 75 makes them, maybe? I can't remember.
They might. I think several companies have their own.
Oh yeah.
Now. Yeah, I'm not sure who all has them.
Yeah, that's cool. I feel like this is a pro tip. but I'm sure there are a lot of people that have figured it out beforehand, and that's the sound of my washer in the background. But the so I needed just a tiny little bit of paint, and I didn't want to waste a bunch of my turbo door because they're like $7 a bottle. And
Yeah.
so I actually just took the paint directly from the tip of the dropper bottle,
That's
and that saved me like a whole drop or so of paint just because I needed just the tiniest little bit, like a brush full, and that was it.
that's a good idea. I wouldn't have thought to do that, but now I know. My mini experiment on this model is a slight bit of freehand.
Oh, that's cool.
It's very, very slight because I'm not that good at drawing. And I feel that to do intricate freehand, probably going to need to be able to draw at least a little, which I did not inherit that from my mother. So
I'm not going to toot my own horn, but like I've taken some classes and I can kind of draw okay. I feel like drawing does not necessarily translate to painting.
yeah,
At least for me, it doesn't. I think it's just because I'm not as familiar with the brush medium as I am a pencil, but
yeah,
um, I try to stay away from the freehand as well.
yeah. I've seen a lot of really cool freehand stuff done
Oh yeah,
in the Trapped Under Plastic group. There's a lot of really good painters in there.
yeah,
You're in that group, aren't you?
yeah.
Yes, I thought I saw your name pop up a few times on some stuff, but yeah, there's some really good painters in there.
Oh yeah, for sure.
This is the first I have painted since the beginning of the month. Oh, actually, this first I painted in a month. I
In a
forgot.
month?
Yeah, last I painted was at the beginning of February.
Shameful.
Yeah, I know. It's one of them things. Oh man. So Dave, what did you, jumping back onto like a D&D subject, how did you feel about our last Frost Maiden session?
I thought it was great. Um, that was like the that was probably I like it because I like the setting is horror-esque, and I like that. But that actual one was like there's a difference between like feeling like, oh, I'm isolated and I'm out here in the middle of nowhere, and that can be kind of scary. The elements are dangerous, and I'm worried I'm going to freeze to death or whatever. But then there's also the side of like, okay, there's one thing to be out in the Arctic. It's another thing to have a starving polar bear in front of you.
Yeah, yeah.
And that basically, like when that slod chest burster popped out of that guy, I was like, oh my gosh, none of us are safe. And I was like, oh my gosh, this could happen to anybody at any time. Like, what's going on? I don't know what's happening here. Because I personally don't know a ton about slods. My character wouldn't know anything about it either. So to me, it was like, wow, that's really, my guy would never have seen anything like that before. It was like, that was probably the biggest shock of the campaign for me thus far. I loved it.
Well, Dave, if you want to learn about slods, you can check out
Yeah.
the Field's video about slods.
Yeah. I kind of set you up for that one there a little bit.
Yeah, you did. Totally unintentional. This paint and chat is not scripted at all. What's my next line? Oh, thank you. Yeah, not scripted one bit. Yes. I also really enjoyed that session. I think that's probably my most favorite session of that game that we have done.
Yeah, I
Um,
really liked it a lot as well.
I I loved and also hated how you guys just won't let my guy die.
Yep.
I was in a weird place that day where I was just like, I don't care. I hate this character. Like, I'm not having fun. Stupid. I'm just gonna let him die. And Mackenzie like knew what I was doing, but like you guys had like no idea. And I'm not gonna tell you out of game. Yeah, I just let my character die. Not gonna tell you how to play your dude. I don't know. It was a lot of fun for me. Um, but now since you won't let him die, he's going to continue. And next time he levels, he's going to do a little bit of multi-classing.
That's cool.
I'm gonna be a barbarin.
There you go.
Because unless there's like some
No,
items or something, there's not really any way for my animal forms to get boosted armor or anything. But
yeah.
the barbarian unarmored defense will technically count in my animal form. So that will help boost it a little bit. And also I can rage in animal form, so
That's cool.
a lot of fun little things to work on with that character. I think next we meet, I'm just basically going to sit down and hash out my existential crisis with you guys.
That's cool.
Character for fun.
I I think if I think we all have our weak points and we all have things that are maybe a little bit better with than others and that kind of stuff. But like I can't ever I feel like we need a better way of like I don't really like my guy and I want to switch out because sometimes you just got to experiment, play it a little bit, and you're like, you know what? I thought this would be good, but honestly, it's not that great. And I
Yeah.
feel like that's something that, like, not to name names, but Chris does a lot. And the so I feel like we need to do something with that and just come up with some way of I don't know dealing with that isn't as isn't as intense of like just let my guy die.
Yeah. Yeah. Um,
or or maybe we could like write in something like where the DM takes over and like the guy, maybe your dude had the slot in him and he burst and now he's dead or something like that or whatever. I don't know. Falls down in a bottomless pit.
that was actually Mackenzie's contingency plan. Had I told him previously in that game or before the session, he was just going to have the slot burst from my chest.
Yeah.
But I didn't, and I'm gonna keep old Sato now.
Sato.
First name,
I know.
first name
Go
same,
ahead.
last name same as the first. That's his thing.
It's like Mario. Technically, their last name were the Mario brothers, and his first name is Mario, so he's Mario.
Yeah, I love it.
I know you didn't care for it that much, but I absolutely love these Tamiya paints.
They're
They're
not.
more for like models, like model like ships and planes. But I actually really like them for miniatures. But
Yeah. Oh, Dave, do you see who's popped into that stream chat?
no, I did not. I don't have like a way to see the chat or anything. Oh wait, maybe I do. Let me try this.
Michael Depew.
Oh my gosh, that bum.
What's going on, Mike?
Yeah. We just can't get rid of him. And I've tried.
Remember that time you tricked him and his wife to move to Arizona?
Yeah.
Remember that time you tricked them to move to Prussia, and they tried to move to Prussia, and it's not even a country anymore?
Russia. It's like moving to Palestine.
Good times.
I'm busting out our old friend, the rough iron.
Yeah, you are.
Boy, that's such a swell color.
It really is. Everybody that I talk to who likes the Army Painter metallics, they're like, oh yeah, they're all cool, but rough iron. And I'm like,
Yeah.
say no more.
This brush is too frayed.
Mike is doing some laundry and currently on his 400th hour of playing Animal Crossing. That's
Jeez.
pretty rad. Chris, or in our group chat, we had the discussion of the Nintendo Switch the other day, and I still think they're too expensive for me, so I'm still not going to get one. And while I understand that the lights are pretty affordable, I want the capability of hooking up to my television.
Yep.
That is what I've wanted with Pokemon since I started playing all the way back when I was in 3rd grade. And of course, David, you and Mike were in like seniors or something.
Yeah.
I mean, it's not that drastic, but you know.
The senior citizens.
Senior citizens, yes.
Yeah. I've been collecting Social Security for 20 years now. Did you ever play the Super Nintendo? Or I'm sorry, the Super Game Boy?
I have one.
You can play your Pokemon on TV there. And if I remember right, the Pokemon Stadium had an option to do that.
Yes, it does. I don't have a Nintendo 64 any longer, thanks to some. But I do have my Super Game Boy, and I have played on it. It's just
It's not the same.
not the same because you know I play games like what's it called? What's that game called? Pokemon Coliseum, which is an amazing game.
I've never played that.
You should. It's a really interesting take on Pokemon. Ethan says Switch is worth it. 100% would recommend. And I do think it's worth it, yeah, but just now and good old flow of life not get right now.
Yeah, I liked Pokemon Shield, Sword and Shield had like I looked at the Pokemon Dispersal. I liked that it was finally on like a major system like that, and they just I really like that game.
I've got a lot of friends who really enjoy it, and they're getting a lot of play time in on it. A lot of people, imagine you are one of them, are excited about the Generation 4 remakes.
Is that hold on, 4? Give me a second. Don't tell me. Red and blue, gold, silver. Is 4 black? No. Is it diamond and pearl?
Yes, it is.
There we go.
I know you liked Platinum really well, which is it's a part of.
Yeah. It's the second generation. I really cannot stand that second generation. Like I hate it. And then the third one, I never really got like after that. I didn't really get into it, and except for Platinum, I love Platinum is probably that might be my favorite Pokemon game.
What's funny is the second gen is my absolute favorite
Oh no!
all time. Generation 6 with X and Y is also really good.
Oh yeah, that's an excellent one.
Dave, or your Dave, Mike says Pokemon out in '98, so you guys were going into junior high. Mike is outing you, David.
Yeah. I'm old people.
Oh, man.
I'm trying to paint a single arrow.
You got this.
Actually, it's not even an arrow, it's a crossbow bolt.
You got it, Dave. You got this.
Well, the first one went on pretty well, so I did like a quick layer sort of thing. You ever tried any of the Citadel dries?
I have not, but I know how they work.
Those things are, I mean, when they say dry, I mean dry.
Oh, yes. Oh, yes. Do you know how to use them?
Yeah. Put
Okay.
it on a brush and paint it on a mini.
Yes. Because Mackenzie
Uh,
has. He's like, I hate it. I don't understand it. And then I watched. I think it was a Goobertown Hobbies video, and he used it, and you use it for weathering purposes. And I was like, oh, okay. So, Dave, for epic level fight night, do you think you'll continue to use the monk?
um, Probably.
It was pretty rad. Ethan says, why the hourglass? Just going for a Black Widow vibe. And yeah, I guess in a way, the weird little symbol thing that I painted on there, something that like I would always like draw on stuff when I was a kid. And I was like, yeah, I'm just gonna put it on there. I probably am gonna do red in there. So yeah, Black Widow vibes. Mike says, I loved red and blue, liked gold and silver, and he didn't touch Pokemon again until Heart Gold and Soul Silver. Then he jumped to Sword and Shield, which is his favorite of all time. That's pretty rad. You have a wild and, I guess, time jumping Pokemon journey there, Mike. I played every generation except for Generation 4 when it came out. I kind of skipped Generation 4 because I was away at school, didn't really play anything for a while. And I don't even remember what got me back into the good old Pokemon. But I just started playing again. I guess mostly just because I was like, nostalgia. And then, I went pretty hardcore on Pokemon Soul Silver. And then I played Black and Black 2. I remember playing Black 2 on the plane when my dad and I went to Arizona.
Hmm.
Um, it was good times. That was when we were in a band,
Yeah.
which is wild to think about.
Yes.
Oh, man. I really don't like these legs, painting these legs on this spider.
What's wrong with them?
Too many nooks and crannies. And I keep finding spots that I've missed on places that I've been painting for a little while. Mike is currently sitting at 400 hours on Animal Crossing, 500 hours on Pokemon Sword, and 165 hours on Super Mario 35, and nothing else comes remotely close.
Jeez.
Pretty good. I've got about 15 hours on Spyro Reignited. Pretty close to 100% done.
I'm not sure how many hours I put into it, but I put a bunch into Mass Effect Andromeda, and I still didn't even come close to beating it, and I just started getting tired and I quit.
That's how I feel about Skyrim.
Like I was just like, I'm ready for this game to be over, and it's not even close. And I'm like, I got other stuff I need to do today.
Yeah. Yeah. That's my journey with the old Skyrim. I mean, I literally have played Skyrim I think since 2012 because I didn't have a system to play it on when it first came out. And yeah, I've never beaten it, and I'm not even mad about it because I really enjoy the side quests so much. I'm like, I don't really care to beat this story. Ethan asks, who's your favorite D&D YouTubers? I
Us.
am yeah, us. I'm a big fan of the Dungeon Dudes. There's also um, there's a bunch of cool ones. There's a bunch of ones that have different like niches. If you want lore stuff, check out Jordan. It's spelled Jorphdan. His tagline is "Hi, I'm Jordan. The PH is silent."
Huh.
He has a bunch of cool lore videos. Mr. Rex has a bunch of cool lore videos, specifically about like specific monsters. For D&D, like mechanics and that kind of thing. There's the Blue Dragon Guild. But Dungeon Dudes, Nerdarchy, Taking 20 is another favorite one of mine. Taking 20 is the first one that I actually started watching, and it's probably Cody's fault that we have a YouTube channel now, just because I really liked his channel and it made me want to do something like that. There's also those are probably like the bigger channels. Smaller channels, there's one that we follow called Game On. Um, they do similar style content to ours, a few unboxings, a few reviews, different things like that, discussions about different rules and such. Haven't personally talked to any of them. It's a couple of dudes whose names, sadly, I do not remember at this point. They're both pretty cool dudes, from what I can gather from their videos. But you should definitely check them out. They got some cool stuff. I'm pretty sure they operate about on the same level as us, as far as videos per week and whatnot. So if you go to the Blue Dragon Guild YouTube page under subscriptions, you should find them. They're called Game On. Mike Depew, how many musical bands have the same name as D&D monsters?
That's a good. Oh wait, that's a good question.
I'm gonna say probably. There's definitely
Well,
few, but there is some nice copyright on some of the monster names that will really put a damper on a lot of those things.
well, what I was gonna say is like, it kind of depends on how you define a D&D monster. For example, like a dragon is a D&D monster, and dragon isn't copyrighted. So
Yeah.
there are bands that are. So it's like it might be a D&D monster, but it's also just like a monster of lore. So
Yeah.
like, a zombie is a D&D monster, but zombies are,
Yeah.
not exclusively D&D. So in that regard, yeah, the ones that are like copyrighted, like I'm not sure if there might be some out there, but then there are some that are just like, I know there's a band called Manticore, but that's not exclusively a D&D monster. And then so you got that kind of stuff.
Yeah. Mike says like Leviathan. Yeah, I mean like. Yeah,
Actually, I don't think there's a Leviathan in D&D.
I think, yeah, I don't know. At least not like without like something else in the name, like big ol' Leviathan. You know what I mean, Dave?
Yeah. Big ol'.
Big ol'.
I got this plate mail metal paint out for literally a belt buckle and nothing else.
Been there.
I was like, really? There's no other metal part here that I could use this on? Just that belt buckle? All right.
And yeah.
And that's where taking paint from the tip has been really useful, because I don't know about you, but like my army painter here, like it's like there's like paint dripping out of the top and stuff and around it. So like for me to drop a single drop would basically just be an incredible waste of paint.
Yeah, some of mine are like that.
Yeah. I mean, it's not really a bad thing or a negative. It's just
it's a thing.
It's not leaking. Yeah, it's just that's the part of the. It's like if you get a bottle of pop and the cap has pop on it. Well, of course it does.
Yeah.
I think I'm going to stop trying to do any more on this single arrow, because that's a job for a crazy person.
But Dave, you are a crazy person.
I am very much. What's weird is actually the part that I thought would be the hardest, which is the shaft and then the actual arrowhead. Like that was actually pretty easy. What's hard is the the feathering on it. Oh, what's that actually called?
The fletching.
Fletching. There we go. I knew you knew that.
Yeah, somehow I do know that.
Yeah. So I somehow I knew that you knew that. I think it probably came up in D&D at some point.
It's definitely came up in D&D.
For sure. I have been getting. So I think some people collect just by paints and try different paints. I have been doing that with brushes. I've been trying to get my hands on every type of brush that I can find to try like all the brush types to see what I like best.
If you're going for cheap, the fine touch brushes from I think they're mostly at Hobby Lobby. Like they are some of the best brushes that I have used. Um, Pretty happy with them. I do have my Squidmar brushes that I am afraid to use because they're really nice and I don't want to destroy them. And I'm a dangus and I know I will.
I got um I got two of the green stuff ones. I got one that's a serious painter Kalinsky Sable.
Oh
It's
yeah.
a double O. I'm really just by look. I haven't used it yet, but just by looking at it, it's not actually that sharp of a point. I don't know that I care for that. That I mean, it might be okay. Then the other one I got that's like turbo good looking is the green stuff standard, which it has this really big um handle on it, and I love the way it feels. And this just looks like a magnificent. It's almost like their regular paintbrush is just really good looking. I don't
Cool.
know, but I like it a lot.
Nice.
And of course, I've got a bunch of other ones. I got the Princeton Select Artiste. Those are pretty good. Those are the blue ones with the thick handle. I like those a lot.
Yeah, you gave me one of those.
Yeah.
We went to Michael's yesterday, and I bought one because I like
Mhm.
gave me so much, and mine is turning to crap right now. So
Yeah. Oh no, they're great. I actually like the Army Painter ones really well. Also, they're pretty sharp.
the the thing I like about painting minis is you don't need a uber expensive brush. Just
No.
go get you some cheap brushes from like Walmart. I mean, that's what I used for. And then I started getting some quote unquote fancier kind of brushes.
Yeah. All of the orange ones, the orange handle ones I have here, are just ones I got from Walmart, and I have used these the most. The only reason I had to start buying new brushes is because I've worn these down to just, I mean, they're just feathered so badly.
Yeah.
I mean, I have worn these suckers to bits, but I've got my money out of them for sure. Have there been any brands or paints or anything you've been dissatisfied with?
Um, Not really. If I had to say any of them, I would say probably the scale 75 paint. Um, but I think that's just because at the time I didn't really understand that it wasn't an acrylic or an acrylic like paint. It was more like gel based.
That's
And
weird.
yeah, like you have to like water it and like do it like a certain way or it will dry like hardcore chalky.
That's
And
weird.
it just I was just like I don't really care for this, so I'm gonna set it aside. And then I watched a few videos of people using it, and I was like, oh, I didn't do it right. Okay, whatever. Now I got it. and so that's really like rectified itself. But yeah, really, there's not really any that I've hated. The more I use different paints, the more I'm shying away from my army painter. Not because they're bad or anything. It's just I like some of the other paints better. I partially being a Citadel snob in a way, but not entirely. Because I really like the Vallejo paint that I've gotten.
You know what? I was about to say the same thing. I've been shying away from army painter as well, and kind of going toward the Vallejos, and with the exception of one, with the exception of this one right here, the deep sky blue, I've liked every one of them. And I wonder if I just didn't, maybe I haven't shaken it enough, maybe I just got a bad one or something. But this sucker is like water. I mean, it is not, thick and creamy the way a paint should be. This is just straight up blue colored water.
That's how
And
that's how
go ahead.
this green gray paint that I have is. It's
Yeah.
very watery, and you have to shake it like a lot. It's good for like different like detail stuff. Like I've done well, my druid's miniature, I painted it with that green gray with his hair.
Mm,
And because it kind of gives it like a little like bit of like a sea foam kind of coloring.
that's cool. I've the color shifts that I've got, particularly this one, the Afterburner. I mean, I don't know if you can see it there, but there's wrinkling on the label here from where I've shook it and agitated it and beaten it around so much just to try to get the darn thing shook up well. These color shifts, oh my gosh, man, like that's a workout. They need shook up so badly. And I kind of almost don't like that they're in dropper bottles, simply because I wish they were in pots so I could get in there and stir them up. So, like, physically agitate them. But I think what I'm going to have to do is just try to take off the dropper bottle top part and get in there and scoop around.
That'd probably work pretty well.
Because you can take like the nipple off of the dropper bottle part, and you can get in there and like get a toothpick or whatever and scoop around in there. Because like it's just, I've shook this up for, I don't know, 2 hours, and it won't do it.
Need to get you one of those fancy paint agitators.
Like the little ball bearings.
Oh no. Like one of the machines that you just like set your paint tube in or whatever, and it just sits there and shakes your paint for you.
I didn't know such a thing existed.
Yeah. I'll see if I'll put it in the group chat.
Yeah, that sounds like something I'm probably gonna get.
Let's hope your wife.
She's not listening right now. So, oh wait, nope, she is listening right now. Never mind. No, we were talking about. I was gonna buy a paint agitator, and we don't know how much they are, but they're probably kind of expensive.
All your paint shaking dreams just shot down the drain.
Gone forever.
So far, I have been painting black the entire time. And I still hate painting these spider legs.
Spider legs, spider legs. There ain't hate spider legs.
No, I'm thinking 90s Spider-Man. Spider legs.
Oh yeah. Oh man, that was good stuff.
It was. Ron, how's it going? Nice to see you on the chat popping up. Oh, Dave, I forgot to tell you this the other day, but
Uh-oh.
some folks in our Epic Level Fight Night chat from when people were watching said that Dave would be the savior of the group.
Huh. That's cool.
It was my wife.
Oh.
But
Some folks. This one lady. Yeah,
yeah.
well, I appreciate that, Heather. I need all the help I can get.
Oh, she'll never hear this. She's at work right now.
No.
She'll never know I told you.
Better things to do.
Yeah. She made the comment of my fists are magic. That's what I'm here for.
Yeah, it's true. I do have magic fists in real life.
Ron had to take a personal day due to some migraines, so it's a nice treat that you see us. Ron, I hate that you're having some migraines. I understand that pain quite a bit. So hopefully hopefully those let up for you real. But again, thanks for checking out the stream. It was incredibly last minute, kind of like I kind of want to. You want to stream? Let's stream. In more or less words, basically.
Mm-hmm.
Dave, can I stop painting the spider's legs now?
No.
Yeah, you're right, because I'd still keep finding spots that aren't painted.
Never, ever stop.
Dave, what monster would you like to fight next for? Or on Epic Level Fight Night?
An Imperium.
That would be pretty fun.
I don't know why, but I always thought they were kind of cool.
Yeah, that'd be pretty fun. Ron says that chronic migraines are a B, but he's okay, feeling better bit by bit, and that's good. I'm glad you are feeling better, Ron. Ethan asks what our favorite module is. Dave, what's your favorite?
Wow. That I've played thus far, probably Icewind Dale. However, after looking at it, I think Salt Marsh would actually be really cool.
Cool. I don't know. I guess I don't necessarily have a favorite module. To play, I would say probably Ravenloft. Because it's one of my favorite settings, which ironically is one of Dave's least favorite settings.
Yep.
and that's all good. But of all the adventure, like the pre-written adventures that have come out for D&D, like I don't like them. Like I haven't, like we had a big long discussion about this in our group chat, and I am not a fan of the pre-written games. Like I'll play in them just fine, but I don't ever want to run them because I would rather run my own stuff. And that does actually lead me to my answer. My favorite is the Yawning Portal. And that is only because of David and his extreme skill at running it. Like it was a lot of fun. It's actually a book that I had looked through before we had started playing it. So there's some things in there like I knew, and of course I'm not gonna like metagame it in the game. And then Dave did it completely different, and I was like, oh man, that was really cool. I really liked that. So yes, I will say Tales of the Yawning Portal is my favorite module. Ethan says, didn't they just put out a Ravenloft setting book recently? They announced the Ravenloft setting book. It's coming out in May. But they've had the Curse of Strahd module out for quite a while. And they recently redid it to change a little bit of the the racist kind of things that were in it, which is good. You need to better yourself, and need to better yourself and not be racist and do dumb things. And that's how I feel about that. Dave, would you rather play in a homebrew game or in a book game?
That's tough. It depends on the book game. But in general, I don't know that I care that much.
That's fair.
I know for me, like I would much, 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 much rather run a book game. I don't know that I'll ever run a homebrew campaign ever again, just because I like I I don't think I do. I don't think I'm good at coming up with a full campaign. I'm good with like, oh wow, this is a really cool idea or cool dungeon or scenario or whatever. And when I can just put that in between stuff, it's worked out really well. So, when I use it as like a segue to the next thing in the pre-built campaign, that seems to work out pretty well. So I think I would rather just keep doing that. I don't know why I started talking about that.
Because I asked you.
Oh
yeah. I definitely think that your book running skills are probably like the best, and I mean that obviously that stems from how much you enjoy doing the research and looking into different things. But the stuff that you have done that was like homebrew has been really fun. Like with the Dath, Jike, and Orsk games, like whenever you weren't playing Orsk and you were in the DM chair, we had some really cool stuff going on.
yeah.
For me, I'm going to choose running homebrew over running a book game every time. As for
Well, you
playing
haven't really run a book game.
me, no, I haven't. I can't. I've looked, I've tried. It's just not my favorite thing. I'm gonna go grab a phone charger because I forgot to plug my phone in. Kids, if you're gonna stream, plug your phone in.
Yeah.
Ethan says, "You guys ever heard of the Dread RPG?" I have not.
No, I haven't.
I will take a look and do a little bit of research on that. Ron has been writing a campaign for a while, and that's a migraine all on its own. And yeah, you're not wrong. I understand. And Ethan responds to Ron that writing isn't hard, it's just so much work. And I'll say both of you are correct in that matter. The current D&D world that I am working on, I have spent probably the most time like figuring it out and like getting every little thing squared away with it. And I think this is the world that I'm happiest with and I'm going to stick with for a good while. Because I've had a few that I've hopped around with, but this one I think I like the most.
Good.
Yeah. Mike Depew says, "Kids, if you're gonna stream, plug your phone in or pick up the 2020 Moto G Power, whose battery lasts up to 3 days on a single charge, and it's glorious." Mike, I'm gonna have to say no. That's all I have to say to you, Mike. No.
Bad, Mike. Bad.
Bad Mike. For those of you watching, we do know Mike on a personal level. So if we are mean to him, it's only because we love him.
I've known Mike since preschool.
I've known Mike since 2007 when I went to college. And I met him randomly. I don't even know how. I just met him. Ron says, "I love writing. Absolutely love it. The problem is that I'm the type of person that has to have every tiny detail figured out. Everything has to fit, so to speak." And,
I'm like that too, and that's probably why I don't do homebrew. I'd rather just read the lore because, gosh, I don't want to put the work in. And I love the Forgotten Realms stuff so much.
yeah.
I feel like if I didn't like it as much, I wouldn't do that. But I just really like it. I like that. I mean, there's a site there that I've used several times where you can get the whole continent and it'll pinpoint like various towns and locations. You just click on it and boom, there's a whole bunch of information about it. And it's like, man, I can't do that with homebrew because I haven't set that up. And there's something about that that is just so easy and convenient, and the access is there, and it's just like, man, I love that so much.
Yeah, I do like that, and I remember you showing me that website with like the map and everything, and that is
Yeah.
a site. But me being the kind of person I am, you can point to a location or like town on any of the maps that I've drawn, and I can tell you most everything about it, even if I'm making it up on the spot.
Yep. And that's sometimes the best part.
Yeah. Ron says that he totally understands your point of view on that, Dave, and it's a good point of view to have. Because, I mean, obviously, if if anything in this conversation, if you've learned anything in this conversation, rather, it's everybody works in different ways, and that's all good, no matter which way you work. Ethan says, really interested concept for one-off. Instead of rolling the dice, you have a communal Jenga tower, and every time you make a save, you pull from the tower. A successful save. However, if it falls, your character dies. Really good
Oh,
for
no.
average people against something horrible. Obviously, very deadly, and I'm here for it. I am here for it.
Oh gosh, that immediately got me thinking, like, do Jenga for Dex, and then, like, maybe something else for like strength, something else for wisdom or intelligence. Like, intelligence might be like, here's a math problem, figure it out. You got like 10 seconds.
I'm done for.
Oh yeah, I'm screwed too.
That's
Nowadays, you should get a spelling test for.
Oh yeah, you're right. Stormy said I should have to do a spelling test because I can't spell anything.
I will win.
Oh, I'll be crushed immediately.
You and Mackenzie will be done.
Yeah.
Ron says that's the cruelest thing ever, and he loves it. And Ethan says it's a fun game system, and I gotta say we should probably try this. And I think it should be Tommy's job to put the Jenga tower back together.
Yep.
For those of you wondering, when I mentioned Tommy, Tommy is the member of our group who doesn't come to live streams because he doesn't want to. He's also the friend that we give a really hard time to over pretty much absolutely nothing. And it's great. He's a good sport, so he takes it with a smile.
He's getting harder to mess with.
He's learning, Dave.
He's learning. Yeah, he's not as gullible. He's not as easy to trick, and so it's not as fun. he's getting wise to our ways, and it's like, crap.
I think part of the problem is we have like messed around with him and messed with him so much he doesn't trust anything we say.
Yeah. We've become the boy who cried wolf.
We really,
you're like, Tommy, the house is on fire. Please come help me. Yeah, sure do. I don't know why I'm calling Tommy in the case of a fire, but
I think if you have a fire, you should just call the fire department because none of us are going to be.
Say that, yeah. Well, you'd think I'd call the fire department, but no, I'm calling you guys.
Yeah.
Get ready.
Stormy's standing over there like, what are you doing? You
call the fire department, you fool. And I'm like, no, they'll come, I promise.
2 hours later, hey man, what's up? The whole apartment gone. Oh, you just had a fire. Oh, that sucks, bro.
Just had a fire. That's all.
Did you have any marshmallows?
Marshmallows.
That's really terrible. We should not joke about that.
No, we shouldn't.
I'm sorry.
On the case of marshmallows, Stormy told me about these things called squishmallows. Have you heard of those?
It sounds disgusting.
No, that's not a food. It's like what Beanie Babies used to be. Oh. They're like these plushy things, and they're apparently all the rage.
I still do not retract my statement. Sounds disgusting.
Okay.
It said, I'm not squishmallow mentally ill. I'm face tattoo mentally ill.
Oh my gosh. I don't think I want to say that on the live stream.
It's okay. It picked it up. I don't know.
What'd you say, Baron?
I didn't quite hear what she said, but it picked it up in the microphone.
Oh, okay. We're trying to be a G-rated.
I didn't say anything like that.
I'm just messing with you.
You're ruining our whole stream, Stormy.
Yep. I messed this guy up pretty good.
Yeah, that's what I'm doing right now.
Yeah. I should have just left him alone, but no. I got to be difficult.
Yep. I had to do some bougie freehand. Ooh.
I don't know why that made me laugh so hard.
I hate my life. Not really. Ethan says that he is here for you, Stormy.
There you go.
Ron says that he's been wanting to paint some spider monsters, but he just can't. I understand. Mackenzie is in that boat. He does not do spiders. They don't really bother me all that much. My wife, however, says no.
I don't think I ever really. I didn't have a problem with spiders. I would. As a child, I would try to get them to bite me, thinking I could become Spider-Man. I forgot the whole radiation part.
I mean, you were hanging out with Mike back then, so
That's true. It's his fault.
your judgment was already impaired.
That's right. Yeah.
Mike's sitting there typing his angry message at us now. We love you, Michael. Spiders don't bother me. I am not a fan of like rodents. They scare me. I can and will leave when they appear. Unless I'm trapped, and then I will stand on the nearest object farthest away from them as I can.
I think I've got one worse than that. Rodents kind of bother me a little bit, but for reasons I don't fully understand. I can't stand kittens. It wigs me out. I love cats, but kittens just I don't know what it is about them that really freak me out.
That's an odd one. So that's an odd one. Have you met my new cat yet?
No, I don't think I have.
Well,
my cat, when you came up, my cat loved you to pieces. She doesn't really do that with anybody, but it was pretty impressive.
Me and cats get along pretty well. Mike says that he loves us too. He was setting up plans for a beekeeping area.
Beekeeping.
He's a beekeeper now.
All of a sudden.
Ethan loves cats, but in their larval form, it's game over for Dave.
Yeah, pretty much. I don't know. It's something about the way they move and like they kind of look, young and little, and they shift around, and I don't know. It's something like how like you instinctually have a kind of like upsetting feeling with the movement of like snakes or like just some things and animals like move and it just instinctually like, oh gosh, I don't like that. Like kittens are like that. I don't know what it is. It's something about it. Just I'm like, I don't want to be around that thing.
Fair. Ron says that he hates spiders, but he doesn't mind scorpions. We don't have scorpions in Ohio, so I think if I was ever presented with one, I would probably be a little wary.
I don't know that I've had much experience with scorpions.
Except
The closest I've got is my wife is a Scorpio. I don't know if that counts.
I think it does.
Yeah, I would think so too.
Because I'm pretty sure if you made her angry enough, she would sting you. But like,
Oh
with the-
no, it's not. No, it's not like a sting. It's like yeah, it's like a bull rhino just ripping through the house. Just a stampede of elephants. It's just rage and violence, and there are horns. There's thunder. It's calamity. It's actually, you know what it is. It's really more like a biblical massacre of some sort.
Oh man. Ron says in California they pretty much have everything. So
Really, I didn't know scorpions were in California. I thought they were more like close to the Mexican border, like Texas and that area.
I mean, you got the Baja California.
Well, I guess that's true. I guess I don't know my geography.
Mike says, you know how in Ohio you got to shake out your shoes for spiders before putting them on. In Arizona, it's scorpions.
I Somehow I feel like that's worse because I feel like, in Ohio, we really only have brown recluse and black widows. Fun fact about black widows: no one has died from a black widow bite in over 10 years. And with a brown recluse, it's not like you bite and then you've got 2 minutes to live. Basically, like, you can get that taken care of pretty quick. So I feel like, we're not too worried about stuff up here. But then I feel like a scorpion, though, I don't know. Like, wouldn't it be like a bee sting or something? Like, I don't want that in my life.
Yeah, I don't know. I also don't want it in my life. This is a conversation I didn't know I would have today. And
Yeah, I didn't either. No, I did not. Mike, go get stung by a scorpion. Let us know how that feels.
Yeah, Mike, go back to Arizona. Your favorite place.
You can do it. I believe in you.
I have to thank Ron for getting us onto this subject of the scorpions.
Yeah.
Dave and I have now many things to think about. And I kind of like it. It's kind of fun. Ron says in California, closer to the borders of Mexico and Arizona, that they have scorpions. So, see, Dave, geography.
Yay.
Kitty, I need you to stop tearing stuff up, okay?
What do you think the odds are that she's actually going to abide by that?
0.
Yeah.
Absolutely 0.
You ever paint a mini and you're like, man, I'm just tired of this one?
Yeah. A lot, actually. Too much, probably.
Like, I typically don't get that way, but I've just been struggling with this guy for so long. And I don't want to say it's because it's metal, but it might be aliens.
Oh, it's totally because it's metal.
Like, I think it's partially that. And then the other side of it is the primer I used. I really didn't like that primer. And I kind of messed up some color choices, but I can get over that. I use the Army Painter spray on, and honestly, I don't like it at all. I don't like the spray ons.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm not a big fan of the spray-ons either. I've got the Vallejo.
Oh, you bougie thing, you.
I am bougie, yes.
Vallejo, I really want to get some of that. They've got some of a guard tower, but it's like $16.
Ooh. So, what I'm about to say, first off, I want to say support your local gaming stores. Second off, David, you can get online for like $10 on Amazon.
How much is after? Amazon. Well, maybe after the shipping though, it would be about the same thing.
I don't know. I have Prime. Like I said, I'm bougie.
Yep.
Ron says he allowed himself to get distracted. which distracted us. And, you know, I'm cool with it. It was a fun scorpion-based conversation. Ethan says the next boss fight needs to be scorpions. I will pass that on to Christopher, who is our de facto DM for the Epic Level Fight Night, and tell him to just make us fight a big bunch of scorpions.
Gosh, that would be so many.
It would be a lot. Maybe it's just like a mega scorpion or something. I'm doing weird highlights on this guy that don't make sense. But I don't care. Mike says we should fight over 9,000 scorpions.
Good Lord, that would take forever.
I think it'd just be like, all right, fireball. All right, you kill 1,000 of them.
Way to go, boys.
Good job, buds. At this point, I don't even know what I'm doing on this spider. Just putting things on him. They don't make sense, but I'm doing it. Daikini in a Cage says, custom monster, Dwayne, a Scorpion King Johnson.
That's pretty funny.
Now we have to make the Scorpion King in D&D. I mean, I'm sure they're out there, but we have to find them. Ron says we should try our luck with Tromocratus. I think I'm saying that right. I don't know what that is, but I'm down to try our luck with it.
I don't know what that is either.
We'll make Chris do the research.
Yeah.
Because he's not here to say no.
Yep.
Because he's at work. Let's see. What time is it even?
4:03.
Oh, man.
I've been doing a lot of painting.
Have.
Precious little on this mini has actually changed.
Mike says 7 to 8 scorpions, all the size of Mahatma Gandhi. I like it. Ron,
what strange thing.
It's Mike, so I just
what's wrong with me?
Ron says it's the mythic encounter Kraken from the Theros book. Ah,
That's cool.
Yep, Daikini confirms it is from the Theros book. I guess I'm gonna have to go look at the Theros book again. A lot of my Theros book looking has been at the sweet hydras that are in it. So I'll have to go look at the Tromocratus, and we'll make Chris. We'll make Chris run it for us. Yep. Well. Ron says most of his Theros time was spent on Leonin, and that is fair. The Leonin are a really fun race. Yeah. Well, everyone, I think we are pretty close to the end of the stream here. So I got some stuff I gotta take care of here around the household. So, buddy, thank you all for watching. It really does mean a lot, especially when this was such a random, impromptu kind of thing that we did literally out of like nowhere. There'll be a video out this Friday. I don't know what it's about yet, but it'll be good, maybe. So, seriously, everybody, thank you very much for watching. It is appreciated, and until next time, go roll some dice.